And look what we get to break out again here. A 3-0 sweep on the show Thursday. Mark Zinno, you and I, don't look now, seeing it well. If you go to the leaderboard at WagerTalk.com,
Oh
you and I,
boy. Can't
1
you
and
just
2 over the last 7 days. I know you don't like that, so I brought it up.
I know you did. Against my better wishes, against the better wishes of the show and this program, you decided to go rogue once again and sit there and stroke yourself for the public.
Well,
And in
I
the
was
meantime, you
stroking you as
stroked me
well.
as well, which I did not ask for. So
Absolutely.
quit harassing me and leave me to my own decisions. Now, listen, it was a good night last night. We finally got double plays right. I think it's fourth consecutive show. We're going for a best bet sweep today.
Yes, because we've
gotten
although it comes with a caveat today because we are NBA-less on this Friday, although we will talk Game 6 later in the program between Knicks and Pacers. It will be a best bet in Major League Baseball. Three Major League Baseball bets coming up on the show today. A unique situation on the card. 2 instances of it, quite frankly. I'll be talking about that.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I think that we've settled in nicely here. So I'm glad that we're going for a best bet sweep. That'll appease all the people in the comment sections,
which is what we live to do.
Well, you know me. I mean, I can't help it. Appease the people in the comment sections. So you're some of you are a really strange bunch. I won't get into it, but some of you did make me laugh. And by the way, Emerson pitched well last night. So for the guy whose granddaughter is named Emerson, remember, that's your granddaughter. The guy who pitched last night for the Mariners, a dude.
The guy helps you cash a bet, and you slight him like that. By the way, you should take a victory lap because the game was 0-0 after 5 innings, your first 500. It ended up being 9-3.
Yep.
So that had to feel good.
Yeah.
So that was Mariners Nationals last night. Mark Zinno told you to take the first 5 under. He is again going to talk to Washington Nationals for today's half of the double play. They have to make the trip down to Arizona to start a new series against the D-backs, who are ready and waiting. You think this is an ideal spot to bet the snake, Zinno, but obviously we got to get creative with the pricing. What are we going to do here with Arizona?
Well, there's a couple of reasons here to back Arizona. And look, you're paying a premium on them tonight because guess what? They just got their asses kicked the last 2 games by the Pirates. They gave up 19 runs to the Pirates, who couldn't score in a whorehouse with a fistful of hundreds. So you're going to pay a premium on Arizona tonight. Merrill Kelly starts, been very good at home, 2.35 ERA, 3-1 in 5 starts. He's got a sub-1 whip at home this year and is holding opposing hitters to a $156 average. So Merrill Kelly is the huge starting advantage edge here for Arizona against a Washington Nationals team that's middle of the road, when it comes to batting, as far as hitting on the road this year. Jay Irvin starts for the Nats. I kind of like this Nationals rotation. I don't think it's as bad as people want it to be. But here's the thing about Irvin. He's been victimized by the long ball, giving up 10 home runs and 11 starts this year. 5 of them have come on the road. He is a guy that, has trouble staying out of trouble. There's a lot of guys on base typically, and this is an Arizona team that hits the ball really well at home. You're talking about a team in Arizona that is top 10 in batting average, OPS, and WRC plus at home this year, and that is something that I think is really, really important. You guys hear me talk about that a lot, so we're gonna pay the juice here, and we're gonna lay it with the D-backs to get out early against the Nationals. I know we're taking the Nats bullpen out of it, and that's always a little bit of a questionable proposition at best. I acknowledge that.
They're a bad bullpen, 29th in ERA.
They are. So if you don't like this, I would endorse laying the 1.5 with the D-backs. But as Brian Power will tell you,
I wouldn't lay the 1.5 with the home team because they might not get that final at bat. That's Brian Power for you, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to him. He's a sage man of advice when it comes to sports betting. Don't lay 1.5 with the home team.
I don't like to do it.
No, you don't.
I don't speak it like that, but I don't like to do it. So there you go. D-backs, first 5, laying half a run against the Nationals is Mark Zinno's half the double play. Smash that like button if you agree.
It's really bothering me you're off center. Can you move to your right a little bit?
I am centered. I'm perfect between the 2 pictures.
No, I think you're off.
we don't need to talk about that right now.
Okay.
What?
Oh, Mister, I'm going to peel back the curtain for everything we do. All of a sudden, when I do it, it's like, oh, let's not talk about it.
When do I peel back the curtain?
You tell everybody everything we're doing.
I mentioned sometimes that we record at night, which is,
okay.
I mean, you act like I'm giving away CIA secrets.
Yes, like you have decided to move troops into Syria. I don't like it.
Are we doing that?
I don't know.
Blink twice if we are. Okay. All right. I was not off center in my call on the Atlanta Braves yesterday.
No, that was a very good call. I told you, I called you. I said I should have added it. I thought it was an excellent call by you. I looked up and it was 8-0. I'm like, son of a. Yeah, it was bad.
Well, that Dan Alexander, that had to make him sad because it was, of course, against the Philadelphia Phillies. And we're going to stick with talking about the Phillies on the program. At least I am here. The Phillies are hosting the Milwaukee Brew Crew. Milwaukee. This is one of two matchups on tonight's slate, Zinno, where we've got one team coming off a doubleheader. Obviously, that's the Phillies. While the opponent had Thursday off. The other instance would be Red Sox Braves. Obviously, I debated how I wanted to play this. I was bouncing a few things around. Initially, I was thinking about taking the Brew Crew with the rest advantage as underdogs. They've made a pitching change here. Quinn Priester, who stinks, is out. And in his place is D.L. Hall.
You want to know why he stinks?
Why?
Because his name is Quinn.
Okay. Yeah, again.
And what does DL stand for? On the down low?
It stands for making his first start of 2025.
Stands for don't like?
That's what Mr. D.L. Hall is doing. So there's some variance involved. Is Hall an upgrade over Priester? I don't know. The problem is he's a lefty. And as we were talking before the show, you pointed out to me, the Phillies hit lefties very well.
Especially at home.
Also, yes. And going back to last season, the Phillies just in general score more at home. No Bryce Harper in the lineup again today, but that was the case yesterday. And guess what? Both games went over the total. Taijuan Walker is the starter for the Phillies. No doubt about it. He's been a bit of a revelation in this rotation. He's been much better than he was last year. He was horrible last year, where he finished with an ERA over 7. But do I really believe in a guy who has finished with just 2 strikeouts in 3 of his last 4 starts? I don't know if I'm a believer in Taijuan Walker. The Brew Crew will be going for a season-high 5th consecutive win. I think they should be able to put some runs on the board here. These teams met 7 times last season, Zinno. None of the games went over. Things are going to be different this time around.
I love it.
Over 9, Brewers, Phillies, my half of the double play.
God. I mean, that was, when you saw that, your eyes lit up.
They did a little bit.
They did not go over once in 7 games last year. Brian Power's like, oh, God, look, let's just bet the over. Because, take your trends and your pen and stick them where the sun don't shine.
My great Viva. This is one of my favorite pens, by the way. Talking about the Viva. Shout out to Viva Tequila Seltzer.
I drank a lot of those this weekend.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
All right, there we go. You know what else? You know what else was very nice, Zinno, is that wonderful ad read I did on yesterday's show.
Oh,
and
boy.
and it was.
Can I just leave the room? Can actually, Dan, take me off the screen? I don't want to be part of this. I have no desire.
It was such a great ad read, and I know it's a great ad read, Zinno.
I just want to yell from the peanut gallery. Go ahead.
So someone was nice enough to get down on the 1-year subscription. So I said, if that ad read was able to get someone to put their hard-earned dollars down with me, by God, let's do it again. Just a reminder, everybody.
You suck, Power.
That wasn't really how I wanted the ad read to start.
Okay? I'm going to do my best to interrupt it so you don't get it out the way you did yesterday. No, I don't want to be part of this.
For a limited time only, you can grab a full 365-day all-access pass to your favorite handicapper. $800 savings. It's only $99 a month to get down, or just
that's $3.25 per day. Yeah.
You get every pick, every sport, and every.
I still think I have one subscriber if he didn't ask for his money back.
Okay, but that's not all, Zinno. Not only are you getting every pick, every sport, and every 5% play. During your access period, you're going to receive a 25% off bonus coupon on all future regularly priced daily all access and flex pass purchases across the site. You're going to save a lot of money doing this. All sports released, all 5% plays, 365 days of action, 25% off additional purchases.
I hope you guys buy more of Brian Power's year package. Please do, so we can do this every day and we'll stop reading. Yes, you're allowed to do it now. Thank you. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate you. Speaking of 5% plays, I have one today.
Oh, so you'd like to promote?
No, I just said, speaking of 5% plays, I have one today.
Mark Zinno has a 5% play, everybody.
Thank
you.
you.
Can purchase it at WT.buzz/MZ. And Mark has been seeing it quite well in Major League Baseball. Would you like to pontificate on that? Or are we just going to leave it alone and people can find out your record at your page?
Okay.
No record? No run?
I have a
no
record.
Oh, it's well decorated.
Yes, it is. It is.
Spotless record.
12-6 over the last 10 days of Major League Baseball, as you have pointed out. More importantly, we're at 67% on our 5% plays dating all the way back to beginning of football season. So
wow, that is an impressive mark, everybody. So everybody needs to get down.
I think I've seen people who on the outer world who track our stuff because they're sometimes annoying. I think I'm number one in 5% plays.
Oh. Well, you can also track it yourself, in WagerTalk.com/admin, a website that you like to bring up a lot here on the program.
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Would you like me to find out right now?
I thought you would have that information handy.
I didn't look. I know.
Is this your first 5% of the baseball season?
Yes, first 5% of the baseball season. Yes. Full disclosure
Shout
again.
it from the rooftops, Zinno.
Oh, you shout it from the rooftops. Look at that record. You got a 5% play. Oh, boy. Maybe you should fix your promo.
Okay, you're
anyway.
Okay, you're getting out of hand here.
No, I'm not. I'm being accurate and truthful and honest, which is what I always am. I am the standard bearer of honor, honesty, and truth on this show. Anyway,
And honor.
That too. You and I had spoke about this play. Actually, I had eyed this up Wednesday night. I had texted you in the midst of a recovery from the Guardians game on Wednesday, and I had told you that you didn't respond. I had texted you some other things normally that you would have responded to, but you didn't. But anyway, so I've been eyeing this up for 24 hours here. Things fell into place the way I thought they would, and after some prayer and reflection and talking to Bryan Power, we settled on it.
We settled on it. It's your 5% play.
It's not my fault.
It's
not my fault. You don't have a pair of testicles and won't do it with me.
Well, that's copying.
You guys shouldn't have too many of the same plays. I mean, you just shouldn't.
I'm sorry. We're not allowed to talk and agree on something and put it out there. Whatever.
You're a difficult man to work with, Mark Zinno. But believe it or not,
no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm a very easy man to work with. Just don't piss me off.
Oh, okay. Well, before Mark Zinno hits the links, we do have one more play for you. And this is one we do have to agree. It is our show best bet, as Mark.
Are we going to talk about basketball first?
Yes, let's do that. Actually, I lied.
Yes.
I felt a great transition coming about how you and I agreeing, and then I thought, all right, well, let's jump into the play where we do agree.
I know. You had a little premature segue. It happens.
Premature, yes.
We do have game 6, Knicks and Pacers coming up. I will say this much. Once again, last night, if you for the lone poor bastard who bought my package, one of the plays I had was why can't I speak? Was Pacers. I kept wanting to say T-Wolves. I don't know why. Was Pacers team total over 109.5. Look, that was a number that you and I had talked about. That was, the Pacers had exceeded every single game that they've won, right? And I said if they didn't get to 110, they weren't getting to 100 because the shooting was going to be that bad. And I kind of felt from the jump, from the first quarter, that they were in trouble of getting over that number. And once the game got away from them, I knew they were dead. But again, it goes back to that whole calling the game script perfectly and picking the wrong side. So there is that. I mean, I could have went under 109.5, but why not? So when we talked about this game earlier, look, you're going to pay a premium on the Pacers, right? For a closeout price. And, typically in elimination games or game 7s, it's a depressed total because we think defense rules today. Or a blowout is more likely, like we saw in closeout with Minnesota and OKC, and the game stays under. So Bryan Power, I don't know what you're looking at over there. Is there a naked woman to your left? I mean, what? Oh,
No, I was
okay.
bringing up the WagerTalk odds screen. I suppose I could have brought it up on this computer, but I already had it up over there. So
Okay.
I know that bothers you. The laundry list of items that bother you. But no, the total for Game 6. I wanted to talk because to me that's the story. You mentioned paying a premium on the Pacers.
Mhm.
They are currently they're -4 pretty much everywhere, which is higher than they closed in the Game 4 victory. The total is the story, though, because it's down to 218.5. Circa's at 218. That's down from an opener of 220. This would be the lowest total for any game in the series if the current number holds.
I mean,
What's interesting is you have both teams coming off subpar shooting efforts. Indiana, obviously their lowest scoring game of the playoffs, a bad shooting night. The Knicks only made, I think, 27% from three last game. So there is an argument to be made that one, if not both teams, will see improved shooting in Game 6. I think it boils down to pace. The Knicks obviously want to dictate the pace. They want to slow this game down. The high stakes, typically, no matter who's involved,
look,
leads to fewer possessions. So the total is what really intrigues me for Game 6.
I would agree. I would tell you there is no path for the Knicks to victory other than keeping the Pacers to 100 points or less. There is no other path.
No path.
Do you trust the Knicks right now to win a 121-119 game? Like if we're getting that high scoring, who are you betting on? If I told you the game was going to soar over by 10, 15 points, you're taking Indiana.
That's an Indiana game, yes.
Yeah. I mean, again, like I said, I've said all playoffs long, Indiana cannot win an under game. They cannot win an under game because they are not scoring enough and they are not making enough shots. I know that's pretty elementary to say, but the point is they are not geared to win an under game. If it's a defensive battle, it favors the Knicks. If it's going way over the total, it's Pacers. It's all correlated. So I don't think you need to deviate from any of that mindset whatsoever. If you like the Knicks, take the under. If you like the Pacers, take the over.
There he has it. All right, we will find out tomorrow night, Saturday night. Knicks Pacers game.
And thanks, Jalen Brunson and Tom Thibodeau, for making me sweat my ass off last night on that 30.5. Dear Lord.
Should have just taken the Knicks.
You know, it was. Shut up. Okay? I believed enough in Jalen Brunson. But again, 14 points in the first quarter, nothing in the second. 16 points in the third quarter, 2 in the fourth.
All right. Let's talk about our best bet, shall we?
Okay, let's do that. This is a fun best bet.
We're going all around the world here today. And
keeping you entertained, keeping you on your toes, keeping you guessing. It's what we do here on the Morning Wager.
And boy, have we pulled something out of the back pocket for you here. This best bet is a Nerfy. In Twins Mariners, a late game. Bryan, woo, on the mound for Seattle.
Gotta love that.
Look, we understand Seattle games tend to be low scoring. Don't be fooled by that 9-3 final last night, folks, against Washington. That was, as we brought up earlier, 0-0 after 5 innings, and it was also 2-2 after 9 innings. Washington exploded in the 10th inning for 7 runs. So we think it's going to be another low-scoring start here. Zebby Matthews starting for the Twins. He's kind of the question mark.
His name is Daniel. His name is Daniel.
Well, his friends call him Zebby.
No, his name is Daniel. Zebby's stupid. I'm not backing a guy named Zebby. Daniel Matthews is pitching. No. Daniel Matthews is pitching. He can go to Zebby in the second inning.
Okay.
For the first inning, he'll be Daniel.
All right. Would you like to talk about this Nerfy and why we like it?
Because Daniel is making his third start since being called up here. Remember, he made his first start. This was after the Twins had posted back-to-back shutouts against Milwaukee. It was a couple of weeks ago on a Sunday. I remember I actively played Milwaukee to go over their team total.
You actively played them?
Actively played it.
Were you running while you made the bet?
I was actually flying while I made the bet. So literally, I was on a plane when I posted it. That said, only lasted 3 innings in that start. Only lasted 4 innings against KC in the second one. I don't expect him to go deep in the game yet. They're still trying to grow him and stretch him out a little bit as a young 25-year-old right-hander. But here's the thing. With a young guy like this, your best inning is usually going to be your first. And in both those games, guess what? He kept him off the board in the first inning here. The other advantage you have with Daniel, first inning, Zebby, second inning, is that he hasn't been seen yet. There's not a lot of book on him. So you give him a slight edge here when he goes on to take on the Seattle Mariners. And this is a Seattle team that typically scores less at home, hits less at home. So we know what Bryan Wu can do. He's a good starter. I don't have any concerns about him. If he gives it up in the top of the first, well, I mean, what are you gonna do? But yeah, so this is all about Daniel, soon to be Zebby. But I like this play here. It's a little juicy, but it's also one of those things where I look at it and I say it's kind of indicative of what odds makers believe that this is a prime spot for there not to be a run here. So let's go Nerfy. No run first inning between Twins and Mariners.
Also worth mentioning, the under money has already come in on that. It's gone from 7.5 to 7, the total. So odds makers certainly expecting a low-scoring game, not just in the first inning, but through all 9, no matter what you want to call Zebby Matthews. All right, that does it for the show today. I would like to point out also 4% best bet for me tonight in Major League Baseball. You can get that on my page right now. 12-3 run, Zinno, after a 2-0 Thursday for yours truly.
Proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I also, already for Saturday, 4% best bet. The European season comes to an end. Champions League final. Inter.
Why
PSG.
didn't you give it out here?
Because I'm saving it for the clients.
You don't do it that way. That was a good try, though.
I tried. I don't know. All right, that's your bag. Dan Alexander, I can see you now, Dan. I think he was sleeping, but there we go.
How can you see him?
He's number one because I've got some fancy gadgets.
Oh, you have admin rights, and I haven't seen them yet.
Yes, yes, it's unbelievable. I'm doing things that haven't been done in broadcasting before.
Yeah, that happens every day. Just wait till your college football power hour.
Again, that was supposed to be a secret, but okay.
Don't put it in the Slack.
He's Mark Zinno. He's hitting the links. He's cashing tickets each and every day as the song goes.
We got a tea time. We're going right to the links right after this. So okay. I'm very excited.
I'm going to eat breakfast. I'm very hungry.
I'm going to do that too.
Growling. I forgot to do that. But that's going to do it for the show. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll be back Monday.
We will be back Monday.
If you have not commented down below, let us know what you think of our plays. And, of course, you want to click subscribe.
And add your plays.
That does keep the content free.
Add your plays. I like seeing what people are on. Because who sucks? That's not nice. We suck? I like seeing what you're on. This way, when you guys tell me my picks are trash, I can get in the comment section and tell you, your picks are trash. Ha-ha!
I don't even know what to say. Let's just take it. Where's the song? Take us home. All right, everybody. Until next time.
Our love is not be calling, yeah. Chances high or low.